On an acre in Liberty Hill, April and Cliff Hendricks wanted gardens up close, but wide open spaces too, like their backyard view of the San Gabriel River.
I wanted the gardening part, absolutely. Plus, we're used to kind of being out away from the city, so I didn't want the restrictions of, what I could or couldn't plant or do to my house. Plus, the stars are pretty nice.
Yeah, you get to see them at night.
April didn't simply draw out a design and call it a day.
I just did basically 3 feet out from the house all the way around, and that was doable. And then as you live somewhere, you begin to see what places you look at as you come out the door, what places you walk past every day that bother you or you want to have look better. My goal is to get rid of grass, at least in the living area. And we have an acre, so we can't get rid of all of it, but to be able to pull the beds out and add to it as I could. I'm very frugal, so it has to do with what can I afford. I have a lot of friends who do gardening that I get either pieces of, or I just, they'll give me plants. I have good friends a couple good friends that have died that I still have their plants, and so it makes me think of them. All the rock we had brought in. Friends would dig up, do their own flower beds and get these huge rocks, and then they would say, "You want rocks?" Of course we want rocks. So if we got big rocks brought in, well, then it was like, well, today let's build out this bed. And I can visualize what I want, but then part of it is just you get going and it looks good there, so you leave it. Really, there's nothing permanent about a garden. If you don't like it, move it. I like seclusion. I don't, because I'm from the desert, but I don't like the desert. I don't like to see as far as the eye can see. I like to have greenery blocking me, so I naturally go towards that. And if it's something that I don't want to look out at, like across the street or something, then I try to barricade that with natural stuff or keep a barrier of natural stuff. And so then naturally you have walls. And then I also planted certain things around so that it would grow to be that way. So it would be cozy like this. I put this walkway in on either side so there's only one entrance and one exit so that I could plant all the way around. And then it was always with the purpose of looking at the pond.
Their 1,200-gallon pond was a move up from their first small plastic kit. The wildlife they love is drawn to it as much as they are. Thanks to the Austin Pond Society, they got passed along water plants and techniques to build it better.
The bog was the original pond liner that we had. That was what we put it back there. We have a pump in the pond that takes the water up into the bottom of it. There's also UV light there to help clean up the water. Then the 8 to 10 inches of pea gravel that's in it acts like a filter, so it filters out all this stuff, the sediment and stuff that's in the main part of the pond. And then the plants that are in the bog actually eat that, the dead whatever it is that goes through the UV light, and then it filters back down into the pond, so it's cleaner water.
In back, they've got a natural water feature when extreme drought doesn't slow it down.
Drops to the San Gabriel River. And there may not always be water, but there's always green, there's always animals, and I have to say, rivers are at my heart.
For a comfy place to gather with friends, April's dad had the answer.
My dad was awesome. He came and built a 20-foot deck off the back because it just screamed for a deck. It's overlooking the river. We like to cook outside. And so he came one year, and we spent like a week together building it.
April's an artist who gives every spot its own personality. Her homemade pottery dishes took a design cue from her garden. To dress up a plain concrete table, she gave it a new look for their pondside dining room.
She had some friends draw the koi, and she just outlined it, and she did the mosaic, all that on her own.
It's fun. It's like color by number, paint by number. It's really easy.
Friends came on board to help when they scavenged 650 feet of picket fence a subdivision was replacing. After pressure washing and removing nails, April and Cliff installed their new siding over radiant barrier.
I liked my house to fade into the natural environment, so I picked a kind of a greenish stain, which when it soaked into the wood, it just almost made it neutral.
Friends often just come to hang out for conversation and discovery in a garden that reflects its land and the personalities of its caretakers, who value wonder more than a mowed lawn.
That's not us. We like everything to be different. I'm eclectic. Everybody knows it. I don't like the same. I mean, to me, it gets boring. And, you know, we've never planted grass here. We have native grass that we'll mow in the dog yard. I don't like mono. I don't like the same thing everywhere I turn around. It's a great place to come home to.
It is relaxing after a long day of work, being able to enjoy sitting by the pond or just, sitting out back and looking down in the riverbed. Because that's where you want to relax, is here at your own home.
We feel like the earth should have been a paradise to start with, and so we're just going to do our own little part.